Hello, my invisible friends. Welcome back to Still Ambitions. I want to start with a question. Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels? You're working hard, but you're not really going anywhere. It's that feeling of hitting the wall, the resistance, the kind of grind that makes you wonder what the whole point of it is. Stick with me because we are going to share two concepts straight from Japanese Zen culture that will not only fix the grind, but also energize and propel your life. If you've ever felt that way, let me know in the comments. Just write resistance, and we can all commiserate a little bit. That's a common frustration, and I've certainly been there many times myself. I remember in my late 40s, I felt like my business had stalled. My energy was low, and frankly, my stamina was suffering too. That's when I stumbled upon something that changed the entire game for me. It's a gentle, yet powerful system that comes from Japan. It's about building a life, not just a schedule. Today, we're diving into the Zen roots of a life-defining system, the combination of two Japanese concepts, Ikigai and Kaizen. Together, they form what I like to call the Zen Momentum Engine. This isn't just about productivity hacks. This is about finding a sense of purpose that pulls you forward, and then using tiny daily actions to make that purpose a reality. It's the healthy ambition fueling the wealthy ambition, which in turn grounds the wisdom ambition. If you're ready to finally trade in that wall-hitting frustration for quiet, unstoppable progress, stick with me. We'll uncover the subtle misinterpretations of these ideas. I'll share my own framework for making them work in Western life, and by the end, you'll have the foundation for a progress system that doesn't burn you out. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts of the Zen Momentum Engine, do me a favor. If you value this kind of grounded, experience-based wisdom, hit that like button and subscribe. It tells the algorithm that this message is helpful, and it lets me know that you're enjoying this journey together. The misunderstanding of Ikigai. Most of us in the West have been handed a simplified, frankly, confusing Venn diagram for Ikigai. You know the one, where 4 circles overlap. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. The sweet spot in the middle, that's your purpose. It's too simplistic, and it often leads to what I call the purpose paralysis. We spend so much time trying to find this mythical center point that we never actually start doing anything. I've had many conversations with younger folks who are terrified of picking the wrong career because it might not be their true Ikigai. That's just not how it works. The original Zen concept of Ikigai, the way it's often understood in Okinawa, is far more subtle and practical. It's not about finding one grand lifelong mission. It's about having a reason to jump out of bed in the morning, a source of value in your daily life. My Ikigai, for example, is twofold. 1. Spending time learning something new about the world. That's a deep personal source of joy. 2. Sharing these life lessons with all of you. That's my contribution. The beauty is that neither of these is a job I must chase. They are my anchors. Wisdom note. Stop searching for the perfect thing. Start asking, what gives me quiet joy and value right now? It took me years to realize that the pressure of the Venn diagram was a self-imposed obstacle. I remember thinking I had to monetize my love for sci-fi to fit the diagram, which would have ruined the hobby entirely. Once I just let it be a joy and kept my focus on sharing wisdom, the true purpose emerged without force. Ikigai is an unfolding process, not a destination on a map. Kaizen, the power of the tiny step. Now, if Ikigai is the compass that points you north, Kaizen is the engine that actually moves the ship. Most people translate Kaizen as continuous improvement, and that's right, but it misses the beautiful, subtle point of smallness. Kaizen in a manufacturing context means looking for tiny, incremental efficiencies every single day. In a life context, it means resisting the urge for the massive overhaul, the crash diet, or the 90-day sprint. You know the drill. You decide to get healthy, so you go from 0 exercise to 2 hours in the gym, 7 days a week. You last 4 days, you burn out, and you're back to square one, feeling worse than before. I've done it many times, especially after a vacation. I'd try to eat perfectly, exercise intensely, and manage my investments all in one frantic week. It's a recipe for disaster. Kaizen says, let's do one push-up a day. Let's read one page of an investment book a day. Let's meditate for 60 seconds a day. These actions are so small, so non-threatening, that your brain doesn't activate the resistance mechanism. The secret is that the daily act is not about the immediate result. It's about establishing the habit and the identity. You're not trying to become a person who does a push-up. You're trying to become a person who never misses a commitment. This tiny commitment builds unstoppable momentum. Let's pause for a moment. I know some of you might be saying, wait a minute, one push-up is a joke. I want you to share the biggest, most aggressive change you tried to make in your life that failed because of burnout. Put it in the comments. We all need to see that we're not alone in chasing the big leap. The Zen Momentum Engine, a practical framework. The real power, the Zen Momentum Engine, is combining these two concepts into a quiet, unstoppable force. Here's my 3-step framework for implementation. Define your anchor, Ikigai. Don't find one thing. Find 2 or 3. The daily joy anchor. What is one thing you do today that is purely for the quiet joy of the moment, regardless of pay or approval? For me, it's making a perfect cup of coffee in the morning and sitting on the porch. That's my Ikigai starting point every single day. The contribution anchor. What is one way you can share value with the world, even in a small way? This could be your job, but it could also be volunteering, mentoring, or simply being the best friend you can be. This is your why. It's the fixed point on your life compass. When you feel lost, you return to the anchor. The 1-minute rule, Ikigai plus Kaizen. Pick one high-leverage area in your life, health, wealth, or wisdom. Now, define an action in that area that takes less than 60 seconds. Health. 1 stretch, 10 seconds of deep breathing, or a single glass of water first thing in the morning. Wealth. Check your net worth tracker for 30 seconds. Read one investing headline or log one expense. Wisdom. Read one paragraph of a challenging book, or write down one idea you want to explore later. This is the momentum starter. It's non-negotiable, and it's too small to fail. That small win creates a feeling of confidence that often propels you into a second minute and a third. I call this the amplification principle. That tiny action amplifies your desire to keep going. When I started my fitness journey again, it wasn't a half marathon. It was 5 minutes of walking after dinner. Now, it's a non-negotiable 30 minutes. The foundation was that first 5. The 1% improvement habit Kaizen. This is where the magic of Kaizen truly shines. Once your 1-minute action is a habit, you only increase it by 1%, never more. If you're walking for 5 minutes, 1% is 3 seconds. That's too small to notice, which is the point. Gradually, you'll find yourself naturally increasing the time or intensity without the internal dread. If you're reading 1 page, next week, make it 2. Stay below the line of resistance. The person who improves by 1% every day is 37 times better off after a year. You don't need a massive 3,700% jump. You need the consistency of the 1% growth. Bringing it back home. This is not a race. It's a marathon that you're pacing at a comfortable stroll, and you're enjoying the scenery. The combination of Ikigai, the quiet joy that pulls you forward, and is the ultimate way to achieve momentum without burnout. I used to be a guy who always chased a massive win, the big stock market score, the overnight success. I was always left frustrated and tired. Now, in my 60s, I can tell you that the true joy, the true wealth, and the deepest wisdom are all built in the quiet accumulation of tiny daily wins. My challenge to you is to pick one area, health, wealth, or wisdom, and define a single 1-minute Kaizen action that connects to your Ikigai. What 1-minute action will you commit to today? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Keep it gentle, keep it consistent, and I'll see you next time. May you be well and happy.